All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Carolina Panthers. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Palardy. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
I'm going back to you.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
I can't believe they even let you play.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson going deep here for Still. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kenny Stills, 77 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Check 41. Let's go, D.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
That's what I'm
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Here we go. Here we go. 15 running. 15 running. Hey, watch the ball. Where'd it go?
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here comes Carter. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Set. Great team. Check my 46. I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear.
On the Jets sweep, here comes Fuller. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Watson from the gun on third down. Open man, the tight end fells. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Bridgewater toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Ian Thomas, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, Bridgewater completes it to Samuel. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Bridgewater to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Bridgewater again. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here's Michael Palardy now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
52's the mic. All day, dog.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 28 yards on that one. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And the catch made by Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Out of the gun, Watson. And an alley to run. He'll try and run it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the red zone now, Watson. He finds his man Johnson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Set. 19. 52's the mic. Come on, D. 5-2 is the Mike. Mike 5-2.
To throw again on second down. Watson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard in what all likelihood will be the final play of the first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now the pass hauled in by Kenny Stills. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Tackles. Watch the
Now Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space.
And this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Come on, set. Get the flag. It's our time. It's our time.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Get him, boy. Get him,
J.J.
boy.
Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally, I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big play there on the catch and run. 37 yards. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th.
Check Mike 46. Bound to lose 1.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. Fells has it, left side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Off of play action, it's Watson. This is caught, it's Cooks. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
You got 3 down, 3 down.
Watson now to throw. And he's going to keep it here. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now it's Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Bridgewater on 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing, Bridgewater. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw, Bridgewater. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And again, it's Bridgewater. That's caught. It's Thomas. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll throw again. Bridgewater. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Bridgewater again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Robbie Anderson there to make the grab. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point try good by Gano, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this will be recovered by the Texans. So victory appears to be in sight. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes.
52 right here. I got him.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.